Welcome back to the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship 2012. Our future game today will be between Norway and France. My name is Sander Olvag. I'm joined by Sarah Carlson. The lovely Sarah Carlson.
Thank you, Sander. We see the red group here where Canada, China and Austria are looking good. Norway and France, who we are covering today, both teams with only one win so far, so one of them definitely going to advance a little bit today.
And the other will be left alone at the bottom. Norway lineup is Ole Hauge and Hilde Stenseth.
And for France we have Tony Angeboost and Delphine Charlet.
Norway won the last stone draw and chooses hammer. You'll see Delphine Charlet starting off this end. Norway with the red stones, France with the yellow.
So nice shot there by Charlet. She finds a really good line and taps that red back a few feet. If this is your first time tuning in watching mixed doubles curling, you'll know find out it's a little bit different. One male and one female curler on each team. Here is the female curler for Norway, Hilde Stenseth. You have 6 stones per team in each end. You play 5. 1 each will be pre-positioned. The team with hammer has 1 stone just back of the button, while the team without hammer has a centre guard. So we see Norway here putting a little bit too much weight on their first one, and it will slide through the house.
We take a look at Tony Angeboost for France. Usually plays with Thomas Dufour in the World Men's Championships and so on.
Yes, Tony certainly very experienced at the high international level of curling. However, been struggling at this World Championship.
Well, mixed doubles is a bit different, and I know Tony hasn't played that too much.
Him too will be a little bit long with this. Since they don't have hammer, I'd say it would have been a better option to even guard that one than slipping through the back of the rings. What would you say, Sander?
Yeah, you don't want to be heavy there. Just allows Norway to come down onto the shot stone. Ole Hauge for Norway. A down turn draw. Has chosen a rather difficult method of throwing away his crutch stabilizer and then running over to the bumper to get his broom. Maybe that just affected his concentration on that shot. Pulls up short of the hog line.
Or maybe if he didn't have that crutch, he would be able to sweep a little bit faster and get that over. Anyway, new opportunity for France. See if Tony Angeboost can make a correction of the weight here.
C'est mieux, Nels. Ok, on la lâche alors. Ah, freine.
Looking a lot better there from Tony Angeboost. Is in front of the T-line. And Ole will try this one more time. Seemed to be a bit confused after his last shot. Not sure what happened with it. Certainly pulled up very short. So maybe not too certain about the ice right now after that shot. This time he's left his broom on the closer side.
Very clear communication there.
Yeah, this time comes up a bit heavy. You know, that often happens if there was something funny with his first shot. Maybe overcompensates a bit and throws a bit too much weight.
Yep, so we see France sitting 2 at the moment.
Is it maybe 3?
Maybe 3. And Tony Anjabus looking to close off the scoring area here. Make it difficult for Norway.
Yeah, maybe just tuck an inch or two in behind the centre guard. Anywhere, really. If you stop short of the house, that's okay too, I think. But maybe like to place this one top of the 12 foot, 8 foot. Don't want to leave it too high and allow Norway to come around. And I think Tony Anjaboost has caught some curl here. It's going to make you. It's going to have to shoot really good to get it by the guard. It's just going to take off it. It does lie in a nice spot. There's not much to do for Norway on the right hand side or the left hand now.
Jeg kommer jo ikke dit.
På helt blå. Full 4-fot.
Vi skal ikke gå alt-hand med litt bakkant da, så prøve å treffe den første der. Litt den bakover, ja.
So you only have 2 shots left here. Would you consider maybe drawing around the right hand side here?
Yes, it's definitely possible if they want to score. This might leave them with a difficult last shot. But still, if you leave your shooter hanging around a good position and you manage to push the yellow back so that all the yellow are behind the tee line, there's definitely a good opportunity to do something with your last.
And still you would have that in turn draw.
Alt for tung, nei.
Må komme.
Nei, kjempevid, du her.
Ok,
Så du treffer kanskje den.
ok.
So just way too much weight here from Norway.
Ja, han er såpass tung.
Ja, og den andre her var på 55.
Ja. Så langt.
Does remove one yellow. And you know, Norway can play off that red, so France may be looking at removing it and play the hit and roll themselves. Or maybe just throw the guard.
That is an option. However, if France manages to hit and roll here, though, they would sit 3 in behind cover. That would make it really difficult for Norway. A lot of pressure on the last draw then.
Gotta make it perfect though. If you play the nose hit, I'll leave the same hit and roll. So I think they've gone for just a draw here. So again, that would probably be the easier option.
Yes, definitely. I don't think we would see that ice for a hit.
No. Just want to come down here and maybe just freeze on the inside of that red. Maybe tuck an inch behind their top stone. Don't want to hit the outside here.
Nå.
really needs to come to the inside of the red.
Big
We'll get-
swing coming here.
Yeah, good finish on the ice here. Maybe I'll get that little nudge off the red.
Just like this. Like you want.
So not too bad there.
For me, just maybe come here. Like you do, like you want.
So I think Tony Angeboost just accidentally stopped that Yellowstone a little bit. He wasn't really prepared for that big of a tap. Left his foot in the way.
So Ole Hauge has just moved it a little bit, but they still have 3, so he hasn't really taken too much advantage of Tony's mistake.
So now we are going to see the in-turn draw here for Norway.
Yeah, we saw Ole and Tony struggle on this side. Let's see if Hilde Stenseth can make a good draw.
Prøv å få styring på den her.
Got to be fairly close to the yellow. It's a really tough shot.
His last stone here of the first end.
It does come around the guard. Oh no, I thought it was by. Very close.
Veldig nære.
Skulle tatt den før.
Hatt den litt før.
Uh,
And it's a steal of 3 for France in the first end.
These things happen.
yeah, tough luck there. So close to again by the guard, but France picks up 3 and will lead the game by 3 points after one end.
C'est la marge. Je préfère qu'on fasse un tap,
Oui, oui, que je sois en garde.
qu'on soit en garde. Like. Par out ou in? Non. Eva, Eva, Eva.
Just making sure that the umpires know that it was a score of 3 as well.
So what are the umpires doing now?
They are placing the stones that are pre-positioned before each end. See here now, Norway will have hammers, so they have the stone just behind the button. France will start off with the center guard. And as always, don't think we've seen another attempt yet. First shot of the end will be the come around freeze.
You might feel that there's a huge advantage having last stone and the stone already in the house, but doesn't seem to be. Usually when this shot is made, it's going to make things very difficult. And you see a lot of stolen points. But Charlet is going to take off the guard.
Elle est partie assez vite.
And Norway are not allowed to remove that yellow, so they're just going to come around the outturn side. Ole and Hilde, they are married. They're both teachers. They're almost born the same day. Hilde is born 10 days after Ole.
Wow.
65.
Do you think that gives them some sort of special communication skills? Can they read each other's minds?
I don't know. The same zodiac sign, if that helps or anything.
Nå igjen.
Possibly.
But I think being married should certainly give you the advantage of communication.
Yep, let's hope so.
Nære. Pass den tresteinen inn nå.
Good attempt, but once again a little bit too much weight. Does wreck on the guard a little bit, spins into the house and sits just side by side with the other one. So creating a big wall here for Tony Angeboost to freeze on.
Talking to Tony the other day, he was glad to be here in Ezurum because there's a lot of sun. Back home in Chamonix, there's apparently a foot of snow every day. So probably okay to be here. It's been pretty warm. I was warned that this is a cold place. I haven't really seen that so far.
No, it's been absolutely lovely. But cold in the arena, of course.
Ja. Kan dra inn en til
I think
oppe,
that's a
da.
good thing. If you want to keep the ice,
For han kan jo bare dytte den,
you
men
know, cold and
You want to keep the
Solid.
ice cold.
prøv
That's
å
for
dra inn
sure,
den
Sander.
veien, nå blir jeg litt løs, er ikke det noe krise?
So, would you care to translate?
Nei, da må nesten
yeah, I
ligge
think we
guard,
were
da,
talking
så
too
sier
much.
han den veien.
Couldn't really
Okay,
hear.
sorry. That's the call here. Another freeze, a little tap.
Yeah, I
En
think.
guard der, vi.
Okay, so just a bit back and forth. I do believe they should maybe come down and play a tap. I think I heard the word guard, but I'm not sure. Sorry for not listening in there.
Nei, lang.
Er lang?
Ja. Og så er den utpå her.
So, Hilda calling the wait for
Lang og
Ole.
vid. Er ikke noe guard.
Yeah, they were playing the guard, but this is going to slip into the rings.
Well, no, we are sitting too.
Å, det er ikke så lett for norsk mellomtid.
Nei da.
They are behind the T-line, so
Har litt tid.
76 firkanter.
guard could maybe get them into trouble rather than coming down to the stone.
Yeah, I think guard, it's a little bit early. France has 3 stones left. And I do think Tony's going to just curl around here through the gap and play a little tap on his own, maybe.
Seems like a smart call to me.
Might not be that easy to get shot just yet, but if you just get one more stone in there, it's going to complicate things for Norway.
Definitely, France also has that yellow on the right-hand side that they can
Dette
use
er
to
på
tap up.
Blue Oui.
It'd be nice to be laying second shot for sure. That would certainly force Norway to
C'est même plus doux.
make a play on those stones. They would certainly like more than 1 point in this end.
So he's got the line. Sweeping now for weight.
Yeah, just a little bit short, but as we always say, a bit short is usually the best.
Yeah, just a lot of yellow in front there that can now be moved up.
So if Norway was playing the guard before, I think they will do that again. Even though there is an in-turn draw for
Og
France.
ser det litt lite ut igjen, da, men mye hadde vi i stad.
Hva?
Ja, ok.
This couple has played some mixed tournaments, playing the European Mixed Championships 2 times, and the mixed doubles in 2009. Not really finishing too close to the podium, but they are very enthusiastic about the game.
Ja, ja, det ble litt.
Back home we don't have too much interest in mixed doubles yet. There's only 2 teams in the qualifiers this year, but I do believe we might have a couple more teams next season.
And what makes you think that the interest has gone up?
Because I'll be playing.
Oh wow.
I've decided to play if I can find a girl though that will play with me.
So
Sadly you're from Sweden, so you can't come and play with me.
might have to change nations. So any Norwegian girls watching and you feel like playing mixed doubles next year, Sander Rolvåg is available. He's also very nice to hang around with, I can vouch for that. Certainly knows a lot about curling. As we will now see Tony Angeboots trying to race up this yellow stone next to Delphine's Broom.
Yeah, can either stick this one on the pin, or maybe even play the double if he catches the first red thin enough. So I think he's got two options. Yeah, a double for sure. So that was the option. Not sure if he played for the double or for the stick, but I think he's happy either way.
I would think so too. So that's a little bit of the frustrating part of mixed doubles. You heard Tony yelling there, wee, but there was no one there to sweep. Still, he didn't really need it. Got away with a very nice result.
Yeah, and that shot's done so close to the pin. Really narrows things down for Norway. They got 2 shots left. So I think maybe you need to just place this one slightly corner frozen onto the French shot. Or maybe just draw the pin and have a chance to score one after.
Hva tror du?
Han ser lang ut.
Ok.
Really needs to be shot though.
Er lang.
Stopper litt nå,
Er lang.
altså. Den
Er
stopper
lang.
litt nå.
Bare fart.
Ja,
Bare
ja,
fart.
den er
Ja,
lang, den er lang, den er lang, den er lang, den er lang.
Han er lang.
Den er
So
lang.
this is interesting. Ole is actually playing his shot and then asking
Veldig lang.
Hilde what the weight is.
Yeah, it's just because he goes to get his broom and is so far behind.
Was a mistake there though from Norway, slips through the rings. So France sitting 2 at the moment. Difficult to say how Norway could score more than one. And it might even be difficult for them to do that.
Where would you place your stone now? If you were France?
If I was France?
France?
I think just if they were to, well, the best shot for Norway would probably be to come around the draw here. So just try and block that off.
5, max 6.
Just where Tony was pointing his broom there. If you were, what you don't want to be is be too long here.
Yeah.
If you're behind the tee line, you'll basically just give Norway a helping hand.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to place it just like an inch behind the tee line here.
Well, it's perfect to set 3. That will also put a little bit extra pressure on the opponent.
Vitesse.
Difficult draws against 3 are never fun to
Juste vitesse,
make.
Delta, non balai, regarde.
but rather
Entrée
short
du
than
4
long
pieds.
here.
Entrée du 4 pieds.
Yeah, Hilde Stenseth has already played a draw against 3. That didn't really work out. Missed by an inch in the first 10 we saw. And here we see a very nice shot by Charlotte. Pretty good.
Fins jo da. Den fins den nå, altså.
Norway has the draw.
Det er nesten du som må bestemme som setteren.
They also do have that tap up. I'm not even sure that would
Vil du prøve
give them the
draginga?
one.
Ok.
Sander, what do you think?
Well, that stone on the top of the forefoot, so deep into the blue. Not sure if you can score playing that, so they have elected to go for the draw anyway. That's probably the easier shot. Although a draw to the edge of the button for 1 without 2 sweepers isn't really the easiest shot. Last stone of the second end.
Virker veldig tung.
Norway does not want to give up another steal of 3.
Virker tung. Ja, ja,
It might be over curling a little bit too. So maybe not taking enough ice on the shot. It's not going to be a steal of 3, but it's going to be a steal of 2 for France. So Norway continues to struggle. It's France leading the game 5 shots to nothing after 2 ends.
Yes, we also have a couple of other games going on here in Ezurum Curling Arena. On sheet A, Germany is leading a game over Ireland, 2 shots to 0. China, 3-0 up on Finland. Switzerland, 2-0 up on England. And Korea, they scored 1 in the first game against Romania. And Romania took some points back, but they're not up on the board yet. So we'll come back to update you on that as Delphine Charlet plays her first draw, a freeze to the button.
Ouais, Lex. Je crois que c'est un peu court, hein? Ligne est bonne. Ouais. Oh, oh. Juste vitesse. Oh, oh.
Vitesse, il y a assez,
Ouais,
hein.
ouais. Oh. Juste nettoyer. Juste nettoyer. Juste nettoyer. Oh.
Looking pretty good from Delphine Charlet. Beautiful shot. Just taps it back. Couple of inches, sits on top. Perfect line. And she has been playing a lot better than we saw in our previous webcast of France.
Yes, both Delphine and Tony really seem to find their flow.
Ja, 70 virker lovende på. Ja. Nei, nei, bare fart, bare fart, bare fart, bare fart. Bare fart. Følg da. Følg da, følg da, følg da, følg da. Hei. Ja, bra. Helt fint.
And again, Norway just not really finding the perfect draw weight. Comes up heavy.
Je pense, hein.
Tu veux moins de vitesse? Non? Parce que tes deux, elles sont... Non? Je te mets ça?
Ouais.
So Tony Angeboost will play the intern draw.
Vitesse? Ouais. Oui, 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 oui. Oui, 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 oui. Allez, Tony, allez, oui, 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 oui.
Passe ou pas?
Ça passe.
So
Tu oui, Delphine.
seeming tight on line. It's not the first time he's caught the guard come this way.
Alors, j'ai touché aussi.
Oh, at least he's not leaving a gap, so the yellow shot zone for France is
Ah, ok.
definitely protected, although it is a little bit behind the tee line, so a good freezing opportunity here for Norway.
Er det isen?
So you see Ole Hauge just adjusting the ice a bit.
Ja. Ja! Er nok i garden, er i garden, Ole.
Ja, jeg er i garden.
And that seems to be a tricky guard. Both teams now reckon on it from different sides.
Lite is, da, eller?
87. Han var for rolig.
Ja, og for rolig, ja.
So are we seeing a takeout here now from France?
Well, if you look at the broom and where it's placed, I do believe it's a takeout. I'm guessing that's what you did.
Well, they are up 5 shots to nothing in their sitting shot stone, so just a good way to make sure that your opponent can't score multiple.
Certainly if you remove this stone,
Oui, oui.
you'll
Oui, 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 oui,
for
oui,
sure
oui,
be in the
oui,
lead
oui,
after
oui,
the
oui,
end's
oui,
over.
oui, oui, oui. Oh, oui.
Oh, gets by the guard nicely. Pretty good shot by Tony. And France slide to with 3 guards in front.
Du har en igjen? Nei, 2 igjen har du.
Altså, dragningen er der fortsatt, så jeg får prøve den.
Ok.
Ja.
So because those stones are a little bit behind the tee line, it's still possible for Norway to get shot stone here. Ole Hauge just needs to find the perfect line and wait.
I think he should have chosen a different method
Foreløpig viver.
to get his broom.
Følg med.
Det er masse
Certainly has to
plass,
play
masse
into his
plass.
focus. You know, thinking the first thing you have to do after releasing the stone is run back, run across the ice and get your broom.
Det er som ikke noe som vil
It's
seg.
definitely, and it just takes a long time
Yeah, yeah.
before you can actually sweep. And while talking about sweeping, we have a question here on our Facebook site from Ryan Brunt, very well-known curler in USA. He is a teacher, and his class in Bemidji is watching the game, and they're wondering, what is the sweeping for? Sander, could you give us some knowledge?
Well, there's a bit of physics behind it, and I've never really gotten the full explanation, but it's more or less warming up the ice. Kind of want to melt the ice, create this very non-existing but thin layer of water between the ice and the stone, which does decrease the friction and makes the stone glide further, and also a bit straighter, because less friction, less curl.
So basically, you sweep if you want your stone to go further,
Yep.
or if you want to avoid wrecking on a garden, if it's heading that way.
And if you want your stone to stop, you can't really do too much.
No.
In the legal sense, anyway. Of course, you can have some gravel in your pocket and or salt, but that's not really allowed.
I don't think we're going to see that here in the World Championships. So, shout out to Mr. Brunt's class in Bemidji. Thank you for watching. And France now sitting 3, but the whole bundle of them just behind the button.
Yeah, no stones in front of the tee line yet, so Ole Hauge still has a chance to get shot stone.
Hvordan er det?
Er lang. Er lang og vid.
Farta er...
Han er videre enn i sted, han er lang og vid.
Ok. Og så bytter jeg der igjen da.
Ja.
Ah. My God.
Yes. Du får bare ta den nesten.
So quite the pocket in there now.
Yeah, things really just not bouncing the right way for Norway at the moment.
France is line 3, and we are down to the last shots for both teams.
Yep, so the mission for Delphine Chalet here now is just to close off the draw. She wants to sit on the 8 foot.
Regarde la ligne, regarde la ligne, regarde la ligne, regarde la ligne toi.
Did not want to crash on the guard there. And has she left the gap?
It looks very tight, but it might be there.
Du har den da. Og så har du den imellom her, men den trang.
Yeah. So it's there,
Du har
but it's
imellom,
tight.
og du har den. På
You
den
had
siden
the run
her
back.
tror jeg egentlig ikke du har noe.
Jeg må gå på den, jeg har ikke noe annet.
You can play the run back straight down the center line for one.
Nei, jeg tror du må ta rød.
Even maybe bounce off your own red at the left. Certainly don't want to miss this high.
15.
Ja.
Okay, inside. I was just assuming they were going with the out turn. So just a nose hit, or then just a tad high would probably do it for Norway. Last stone of the third. Hilde Stenseth hasn't really been faced with too many easy shots.
Okay.
Langt ute.
Looking close, I think. If she can get enough curl at the end. She cannot, and it's going to be another steal of 3 for France.
Skal se, det blir en kort kamp, Ole.
Jeg har gjort det en stein, det er helt håpløst.
It's just Hilde telling her husband that this might just be a very short match.
She almost said it in a comforting way. Like, don't worry, it's going to be short.
Well, it's the last draw. We're time's about 10:30 here in Ezurum. It's been a long day for many teams. So, in fact, the time is 9:30.
Yes, that would
vi
make
ser
more
det
sense.
Jeg får den.
It's difficult changing time
Jeg får den.
zones.
Faut pas que ça nous fasse une garde.
So you changed too. Sorry.
All the way from Norway, you know. Confusing as we see Delphine Charlet over curling,
Bah, c'est ça.
nosing the guard.
Donc en fait, à la fin, tu l'as ralenti.
Ouais.
And if Hilde Stenseth can come around here and sit on top of Rowan, they'll have a good start to this end. Yet to score in this game. Been heavy on too many draws.
Ja, ja. Bra, eller? Herlig.
And she's going to come down onto Rowan. Very nice shot.
Ja.
Good work there. So no takeouts allowed so far. We're going to see Tony Anjaboost with another freeze. Hopefully set up some good angles though, because I think we're going to see him blasting the rest of this end. It's a big possibility.
Yeah, it's not very easy to play defensively in mixed doubles. Usually when you're 8 up in regular 4-man curling, you'll start just peeling off all the guards, but you're more or less forced to keep stones in play for a little while.
C'est beau ça.
Ouais, c'est beau.
Non, mais c'est vrai.
Mais oui, c'est beau.
Les deux derrière tu line.
Yeah, certainly nicely played there by
Den bak er nummer 3.
Tony. He sits in front of the T-line and also creates an angle on those reds, will make which will make for an easier double later on.
Ja!
This one also wrecking on the guard.
Ødelegger litt den, da.
Hva?
Ja, for nå har han jo den, vet du.
Ja, han har den. Ja, det er umulig, da. Det er helt umulig, det.
It's Norway duo. Not feeling very positive at the moment. Just expressing that they're thinking that this is an impossible game of curling. However, should say though that it's nice to see France back on track. Question now is, which guard do you hit and where?
C'est couillu, non?
Ça se fait, hein?
Au pire, je touche.
Et ça écarte.
Ça écarte là?
C'est la même vitesse.
Ouais, par contre, il faut plus de glace, hein?
Hein?
So they might not be hitting any guards at all here,
On donne ça pour
leaning towards the draw. So figured that they've outplayed Norway so far in the draw game. They could easily do it again. Confidence is high, maybe.
Je sais pas si c'est trop ça.
Doesn't seem to be totally sure here, Tony.
No.
Pas sûr. Enlève.
So he's going to peel the guard.
Mets-moi pleine pierre, pleine pierre.
I think going to look to make a double peel on the guards.
I think he was tight on ice for a double peel.
Or maybe he was just going for the single peel. I'm not sure.
He got the single peel though,
Franchement, je sais pas trop quoi jouer, mais.
so
j'ai
nice
pas le
result there. And those yellow guards are in quite a favourable position for France. They could be running. They are also closer to the house, so easier to run in for them.
Yeah, but right now it's not too easy to get to those reds. Playing through your yellows. Their own stone on the top of the four is kind of in the way.
So Ola Hauge, sensing that maybe he could score a few points here in the fourth
C'est
end.
fort, c'est fort, c'est
Ja!
fort.
Nei, du er forbi, du er forbi, du er
Ja,
forbi!
ja, forbi.
Doesn't want to be heavy here.
Helt inn i lomma med deg nå.
It certainly looks like he is.
Bra, Ole.
Still not too bad. But how much can Tony see?
Nei da.
You think it's enough to play the double?
I think it's enough to play the double,
Ouais.
Ouais?
but I'm pretty sure we're going to find out soon. Even if he was just to remove the one, it's not the end of the world for France. That would leave the other two
Ouais, plus,
reds
Jeff. Ouais. Oh.
behind the tee line, and also leave them sitting second shot. So
Ouais! Oui! Oui! Oui, 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 oui! Go, 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 go! Allez, allez, allez! Pars, 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 pars!
Oh. So just clips the guard by ever so little,
Touché, hein.
but it's enough to remove one red.
Ça touche pas, il y a le beau double.
Norway still laying one and might be looking for the corner freeze onto the O.
Da er det plass til 2 av våre der, da.
Hva? Nei, men går du her, så tar du egen.
Ja, ok.
Ser bra ut. Nei, 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 vi må køle masse. Er litt tom.
Kom igjen da, kom igjen.
Er litt grann tom, Ole. Beklager.
Ja, det ligger de sånn. Ja, ja.
Not the most positive Norwegian side here though, right now. Ole coming down and just saying, great, now France are lying shot, which is true. That was not a good place to be heavy.
Yeah, I still think it's a bit too stressful for him to go get his broom after throwing his stones. It might just affect his feel. Because usually they are pretty good draw players. They have played on this type of ice a couple of times before. Delphine Charlie looking for the double. That's a beautiful shot. Even sticks. Her yellow in behind the guard.
France on fire here tonight.
Yeah. Seeing some really good shots, and even when they miss, they don't miss by much.
Ja, ja. Er du løs, eller? Ja. Ok.
Last stone of the 4th end for Norway.
Nei da. Ikke I dag.
Just not today for Norway.
Vi må spille 2 ganger til.
Ja, ja, ja.
And
Ja.
France is going to pick up another steal of 2. It's going to make it
Se der.
10-0 after 4 ends, and just hearing Hilda Stenset saying they have to play 2 more ends. Just that's how the rules are. Although it might look very difficult to get back in the game. So after 4 ends, you'll see the ice crew come out and mop the ice a little bit. Both teams have a little break, and so will we. We'll be back with the remaining ends of this game in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to this featured game between France and Norway in the World Mixed Double Championship. We are in Ezurum, Turkey. And after 4 ends, the score is 10-0 to France. France really getting their game back. They have been struggling so far this week. You see here the female player for France, Delphine Charlet. Getting some sweeping help here from Tony Angiboost, although this one is short and will wreck on the guard. Norway, however, been struggling, definitely struggling with draw weight, coming up heavy with a whole bunch of draws, and that is probably the biggest reason to why they are struggling at the moment.
Ja.
Here is Hilde Stenseth for Norway. She will try to come around the centre guard. Tuck one in behind there and sit 2. They do have hammer in 5th end.
That's a better draw from Hilde. Don't need to be too heavy. Just sit on top there. Makes it harder for France.
I would say that's in a great position. And because in mixed doubles play, you're not allowed takeouts until the 4th stone, so France will also make a draw here. It could angle freeze onto the one that Hilde just played, or even go to the one in the rings. Here you see Tony Angiboost.
Laisse un poil plus, Delph. Reste sur celle de derrière. Faut pas toucher la première.
Ah ouais, elle la touchera pas.
Ok. Elle touche la deuxième ou elle va derrière?
Petit peu, oui. Un peu.
Ouais.
Gets a little bounce off the shot stone and also rolls out himself, so might not be the best result there for France.
Let's see if Ole Hauge can maybe come to the inside of the yellow. Just tap it back a little bit.
It's definitely possible.
It's not the easiest shot, but if you can make it, it'd certainly be looking pretty good.
I think it's important not to think not too greedily here. That don't think that you want to push it back to set 3, but it's more important to get a really good angle here. So you see Ole Hauge sliding with a crutch, which means he's going to have to run over to the side and find his broom before he can start sweeping. A really great line here if they can get it past. Will wreck on the front stone.
Min skyld, sorry.
Ja da, men det var litt løse. Au pire, c'est une pierre rouge qu'on pourra tirer après. Lindelf, vitesse est bonne.
So another draw here from France. It's quite a big pocket for them here. And good attempt, will sit for 3rd shot.
Tu l'as même vu mieux que moi.
Hein?
Tu
I still think the same shot as there for Norway. But now they have to come off their own stone if they want to.
Det shotten, det bare så vidt.
Ok, det vi som har shottene. Okay.
Ja,
We'll
men
just
det bare så vidt.
back
Det
for
spørsmål
weight,
for at,
come to
den-
Ja, det
eller
the
hvis
very
man har
inside
den, så
of
ryker
the
den,
red.
ikke sant? Så
Kind
vil
of
du
roll
ville
in
gå
there.
Vi må jo spille litt offensivt her. Det kunne vært morsomt å prøve å tikke ut den da. Tikka den ut der.
Men da ruller den
Men det er
fort.
for det er livsfarlig stein.
Da ruller du fort ut, ikke sant? Og da
Jo,
drar
men
han
jeg må
bare
jo
på
gjøre det ikke
neste.
veldig hardt. Jeg gjør det ikke hardt. Der. Det må bare være bakkant igjen, og der, og så ut der. Jeg vet ikke.
Der da.
For da kan vi neste omgang kanskje prøve å bli kvitt den andre gule. Vi må spille litt hardt nå, ikke
Ja,
sant?
ja. Her da.
Det er klart faren er at dytter den inn til shot da.
So Norway
Jeg gjør jo fort det, men ja. Who
Ja.
cares?
didn't hear your call, Sander.
Det er tidlig 17-0 liksom. Det er...
They have decided to
Nei.
make a play on the stone that was just being put there by
Solid bakkant.
Tony Angebus with backline weight to push it back and get a little roll. Big risk here though.
Yeah, I think what they're discussing is they need to score a big end to even be in the game. So you got to give them credit for at least, you know, going for the big house. But not sure if this is going to help too much.
Well, when you're
Er lang og vid.
down by
veldig
10
vid.
shots, you might as well
think
take your
60
chances.
Ja. Kan vi prøve å
This
tikke
one
inn via egen vei?
looking
Han er
heavy
her,
and
han er her.
wide.
So this is going to be very wide. It's not going to even be close to the shot I was calling. And he's going to remove his own shot. So
Oh my God.
things are not working out for Norway once again.
Nothing to do for them but laugh at the situation. And a little kiss there.
Là, il y a.
Ouais.
Si je suis un peu vite, Delph, on vient là. Mec, c'est la même ligne ou pas? Non,
Yeah,
c'est pas la même
maybe
ligne.
not having their best day
Tu mets ça,
curling wise, but
J'avais quoi avant?
ça.
it's good that they can have a laugh about it.
Joue entre 3, 4, 5. Si je
Ah,
suis
là, c'est
plus,
bien.
si je suis plus, on va dans la rouge.
You know, it wasn't too long ago that it was France in the same situation. Just earlier today, they lost 10-0 to Austria. So I think they know how it feels.
So mixed doubles, a bit of a roller coaster.
Certainly is.
So France maybe just looking to guard up the situation now.
Vitesse.
Ah, c'est pas mal.
Tony Angeboost always very expressive on the ice. Puts a lot of energy into the game.
La ligne, ça dit quoi?
That definitely is the way to play curling.
And he also does a lot of mountain sports. I'm not sure what that would include, but maybe mountain biking and climbing.
C'est pas mal, hein.
Skiing?
Obviously skiing from Chamonix, and his teammate Thomas Dufour works as a ski instructor, so I believe he's quite active.
Den ødelegger alt, vet du.
Ja, han gjør det.
So that's a very nice
Nå må
shot
vi gjøre
too.
et eller annet som det flytter litt på
Et eller
seg,
annet må
for
du
nå har vi
gjøre, ja.
ingenting. Akkurat nå har vi ingenting, så vi må gjøre noe som flytter på seg.
So now what is Norway going to do?
We're looking at a run back, but you only have 2 stones left. I think the chance of removing all 3 L's are quite slim, so maybe just play that intern draw and try to come
Du har ikke noe, nei.
to the lead and set for a shot.
Den,
Is it possible to get to the
går
lid
på
though?
den og ut der, og så går den... den
I
er ikke
think
der,
so.
den.
Ja, men den ligger der, den ene likevel, da, men det er bare én. Men
Ja,
Know
men
that
det er
these
bare når det åpner opp nå.
Norwegians doesn't have the most positive releases, so they might be curling just a bit extra than some players.
ok. Altså, enten må vi ta den som prøver å treffe der,
But I
eller så
think
må vi ta den som prøver å treffe der. Hva er best
whatever you
for-
choose
er det
here,
der,
it's
eller
going to be
der?
really difficult to have good results.
Tror kanskje det er best å treffe der, ja.
Ok,
Tror vi skal prøve den.
hvor
Ta
skal
den
du,
inn her, da.
hvor skal du treffe den da?
Så vidt på den siden, så vidt på den siden, Skjep.
So they're going to run back this guard and try to pick off the yellow in the top of the forfeit. That could open up a chance to play a tap on the top red. See what happens. We saw Hilde Stenseth play the exact same shot, coming this exact same way just a couple ends ago. She was fairly close, but had to give up a steal. A huge extension from Ole Hauge. And I think he might be over curling here.
Just finds the edge there on the centre guard. I'll remove it. And nothing really happens.
Prendrais pas de risque à essayer de bouger ça? Så enkelt er det. Ah.
So France still on 3, and it's Delphine Charlet's time to play her second and last stone of the end. I think she's just looking for a front stone, a guard, something like that.
Yeah, we said this before, when you're throwing your last shot and it's a draw, especially when it's a draw to protect 3, you are pretty happy with the way things are looking.
Yeah, the angles aren't really looking good for Norway either. It's going to be very difficult to score. It'd be nice for them to score though. So here we see the guard in a pretty good spot. Has left a gap, but I'm not sure if it's going to help Norway playing it.
I don't think the gap will do you any good.
I think I'm still a strong believer that the draw around is there. Get a lot of finish on the ice. It's not easy though. I think the best thing would do is to throw T-line weight at it. And don't sweep it at all, just to catch as much curl as possible, get just by the guard. And you might just be there. For sure, for sure. For sure.
Well, you are the wise one, Sander.
Oh yes. Certainly is there, I think. Just not easy, but Hilde Stenseth play the same shot, and was it the first? I think it was the first time she played a shot, yeah. Just cracking on the guard, so last stone of the 5th. Norway is still looking for a score. Really difficult draw. Needs to be close to the guard, and needs perfect weight. And she's going to squeak by the guard, but it's going to be too heavy. It's not going to catch enough curl, and Norway is going to steal 3. And that's the 3rd time today France has stolen 3 against Norway.
Respire un peu, fais-toi plaisir.
Mais je me fais plaisir.
Oh, bah alors, monsieur, t'es tout en nu là. C'est la culotte qui te sert?
Oh, a cheery French team there.
C'est Bob.
Delph, pas en garde.
So starting to get a bit ugly, or is that a bit late to say for me?
Might be a little bit late.
I'm afraid we might be seeing a record for this week. Not sure what the biggest win is though.
No, but I think we might be close. If you're curious about the other games, Germany got full house against Ireland and they took 6 in the 4th end. Score there is now 9-1. China leading Finland 5 shots to 1. Switzerland leading England 4 shots to 2. And Romania having a close game. Score there is Korea 3, Romania 2.
Ouais, Delph, à fond! À fond, Delph! À fond, Delph, on ouvre devant, Delph! À fond! À fond sur celle-là, moi je prends celle-là, à fond!
So Delphine Charlet will wreck on the guard.
Et
Je pense que tu les couches. Faut que tu en mets plus de glace, Delph. Encore.
Looks upset,
C'est ouvert.
even though they're in the lead by 13 points.
Hvilken side vil du gå på?
That's a good thing, I think.
Yes, it means that they still have their focus and still won't really care about making good shots.
I think maybe it's easy to lose your focus when you're, you know, in such a big lead, but then when you actually miss your shot, I think you're more angry about just not being focused than actually missing your shot.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Ja, jeg tror du skal ta den på fart. Ja, på retning også.
It's happened to me a couple of times.
It happens to all of us, Sander.
Nei, vi går i
Jo
gang.
da, men da dytter den garden inn til gard for oss. Så gærent det. Det er ikke så gærent det.
It's important to keep focus, even though you're in the lead.
Norway puts the guard back to the center line.
Tu peux pas faire la poussette?
On peut.
Au pire, ça ouvre, mais par contre, faut pas que tu sois trop fort. Faut pas que
Ouais, ouais, non, mais
sorte, hein.
non, je fais pas fort à ce point-là. Mais moi,
Comme ça?
ouais. Ouais. Je pense, non?
De toute façon, tu fais vitesse quoi? 8?
8, 9, ouais.
So Tony Anjaboost, is he looking for the tap back on the center guard? Maybe
I do think the call is a tap.
it's a really difficult shot.
Are they just waiting on being able to hit? Oh,
Oh, just needs to curl a little more. Oh, so close with it.
really nice try there by Tony.
Just had to curl a half an inch more.
Ouais, bah pas grand, je manque pas. On n'avait pas le droit.
Ja, vi kan prøve det. Prøve det. Eller kan vi legge garden der som ja, men... Ja, greit. Må ta på fart. Veldig løs.
C'est pas impeccable.
Det er kjempeløs.
Finds its way into the rings. And I think Norway maybe
On
hit
fait la
that
même ou
guard
pas?
a little bit.
C'est couillu, hein.
Not sure it's going to
ça,
matter
c'est bien
because
passé.
it's going to fly now
Ouais,
anyway.
mais après celle-là, je peux plus l'enlever, Delph.
Yeah, Tony Anjaboost
Ouais, j'aurais ouvert sinon.
looking at the run back.
On pile? On fait un tir?
Un normal?
On fait un tir ou on fait la même pierre?
Ah bah je sais pas, tu
Toi,
viens
tu
de me
referas la
dire.
même pierre?
Bah moi je trouve que ça vient bien.
Allez, on fait la même pierre.
Or maybe playing the same tap. He was so close with the first attempt. Why not try it again? I mean, it's going to be hard to lose this game anyway, so he might have
Au pire,
a
ça
bit of
ouvre.
fun
Ouais.
trying the difficult shots. And certainly if you make it, it's really nice.
Yeah, we did talk about staying focused, and one way to do that is to actually give yourself a couple of tricky shots to make sure that you
Make them.
make them. Yeah, I was going to use the word focus again, but I thought I'd already said it.
Ah, c'est moi vite, Delph.
Ouais, alors ouais.
Yeah, no, I've
Wow, 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 wow.
think maybe being so close with his first attempt, he really wants to make it, but he's gonna over curl. Just not enough weight on that shot.
Just a little bit shorter than the last one.
But has another stone in there.
Kan sperre begge reisene hans, så vi får en her.
Du vil på scoretavla?
Ja. Altså, vi kan jo gjøre den der senere uansett.
Ok. Her da.
Ja.
So they're gonna scar this gap here, so Tony won't have a chance of tapping up his own. Pointing out that they can always play the tap on their own later on, which is true. And while you guard this gap, you might as well maybe try and guard some of that stone in the center line, so the run back's not there.
What would you say, Sander, has been the key for France in getting this big lead so far in the game? Still have a very curious class in Bemidji wanting to know why the score is the way it is.
I think it's like in every other sport, just playing well. They're making their shots, execution. Norway's not doing too much. That's it, I guess.
I think it's got a lot to do with the draws. Basically, France did put theirs in the forfeit, while Norway have been struggling a little bit, both with weight and line coming up a little bit too long, a little bit too short.
Yeah, the France's drawaway has been perfect in big parts of the game. Norway's often been very short or just heavy, and hasn't really set up things for them. And they haven't been making those last shots either. Had a couple of really hard ones, but they haven't been making them, so that's why they haven't scored at all. Had a couple of chances, but again, you know, tough shots, tough to make. Norway is lying shot now though, and I'm not sure what Tony is playing at. Is he maybe trying to come around the port?
I think he's tapping the one in the 8 foot.
It looks really hard coming in that way.
Yeah, especially with the swing that you have on this side of the ice here.
I think it could be easier to play maybe a hack weight, the out turn.
He's managed to get another one in the rings though.
Yeah, could be really ugly if France finally gets to that shot stone. But they only have one left, and I think Norway is just looking at scoring 1 point here.
They'd be quite happy to be on the board.
A little consolation point is always good.
Jeg tror de litt mer is, altså. Jeg skal ikke til senter. Ja, bra.
So they are going to guard the same gap. The last stone. No, it's not the last stone of the 610, but it's the last stone for Ole Hauge.
Lande.
Ja, jeg ser det.
Er litt trang på linja. Få eventuelt en vipp ut fra den gule.
Nei, det ikke fart nok.
Du sikker? Filleren.
Oh, just wants to settle down.
Nei. Stenge hullet litt grann.
Well, does make that hole
Litt mer.
a bit worse.
Da legger jeg igjen sånn her.
And the run back is probably not there now. I think it's still there if you come through the port with the out turn. You gotta control weight. It's really difficult though.
Tu passes. Si tu passes, ça fait ça.
Is there a double for France
On pousse la jaune
on
là.
the left hand side as you see it now?
Un tir, d'accord.
Can
Si
we
tu
see
passes,
enough
ça
of
fait.
that red
Normal.
zone?
Si juste on touche
No, I
là,
don't think so.
ça fait ça. Et si tu touches là, on garde. Tac, il n'y a aucun risque. La vitesse que tu veux, soit normale, soit plus fort.
Normal, normal.
So I do think they're going to try and come through the gap. They're going to play the in turn though. I think it's easier to play out turn, maybe get a little bit of curl after you pass the guard to get the angle. Let's see what Delphine Charlotte can do. She can ruin all hope of a Norwegian point in this end.
She put this one back just a little bit.
Oh, very close. Oh, makes a shot. Very nice.
Thank you.
And Norway's just going to shake hands. Don't know why they didn't play their last shot though. So after 6 ends, or well,
I think you can just make a yellow.
so it's not going to be any more points for sure. That's a very good tactical decision by Norway, and they're just going to X out this 6th end, and it's going to be a score of 13-0 for France. Certainly had a good game. Norway were both poor in execution, but also unlucky. Is that an assessment you can agree with, Sarah?
I always agree with you, Sander. So that was it for that game. On the other sheets, Germany still leading Ireland. Score there now is 9-3. China, Finland. China leading 5 shots to 1. On sheet D, it's Switzerland 4, England 3. And on sheet E, Romania 5 and Korea 3 after Romania got a score of 3 in the 5th end. Our next live game will be tomorrow at 2:30 local time here in Erzurum, Turkey. And then you will see New Zealand, Japan. So very exciting curling coming up. Until then, thank you for watching and good night.